this was the driver, and my parents, my dad and my mom, were my coaches. What could I be talking about? I'm going to reflect on my experience go-karting in Montana versus Seattle pre-driver's license age, so pre-2008. So today is Monday, 1 September 2025, so in that sense it's a reflection because this was over 15 years ago, these experiences. And so Tanis Coralee Leonhardi of Seattle, reflect on my experience go-karting in Montana, which was an outdoor racetrack, versus the greater Seattle area, which was an indoor racetrack. Before I was of age to get a driver's license, I reached of age in 2008, went go-karting as described a number of years earlier. So these were like, I want to say like 2005, 2006 approximately. So both experiences built upon the family fun we had at a place called Fantasia growing up. Fantasia was a game place with a small go-kart track, laser tag, and other fun activities. I was not able to go-karting at Fantasia because I was too short and or too young. I think they actually had age requirements. And so like, as the youngest in my generation, I got to watch everybody else in the family do the go-kart thing, kind of thing, from the driver's seat, and I wasn't. So we went to Montana for a family reunion, and it was for my mom's side, the Norwegian side of the family, and we went to this place and it had a big outdoor racetrack for go-karts, and it also had like a big, like with wooden walls, maze. They had to walk and stuff, and I was just like, I didn't finish the maze, the human maze, but I did get to go-karting. And it was, in both of these situations, it wasn't fair because I was a young person and I was neither in driver's education nor did I have a driver's license. So like baby of the bunch gets to be like, I don't have any driving experience. So this is like my only driving experience is go-karting. So this is one, so the one in Montana was fun. It was hot and I remember the heat, and I remember just being like, I finished the course. And it was a lot about like, it was like how, like, everybody was like, you know, everybody else in my family that was going with me was like, you know, like they got this and they were just like, you know, pumped up. And I was like, how do I drive a car? How do I drive a go-kart? They're like, you just press on the gas pedal. And so that was like literally the only instructions I got for driving. And I had no driving experience. So it was kind of like of a motor vehicle, which a go-kart is a motor vehicle. So it was a different experience. I did really well. I think I was very proud of myself and simultaneously very frustrated that, you know, I didn't win. Okay. But I finished and I didn't crash or anything like that. So it was good. And then the one in Seattle was in, I think it was in the Redmond area. It's in greater Seattle area. And it was maybe a year or two later. So I'll put this in the 2004 to 2006 time range, but I think it might have been like 2005, 2006. And we went with, that one was with my dad's side of the family, and it was an indoor racetrack, and oh, it was super nice. They had like a wall with helmets on it, and it was like they had, was it hay bales inside? They had some sort of like barrier devices along the racetrack indoors, and they had like a screen where you could see, it was like your time or your position or your placing while racing the course. And that was one where one family member did crash, and so there was concern over that family member's safety. It was not me, but it was, you know, there was concern there, and I was like building on my that one. So, but no, that I still would have been too young for even driver's ed at that point in time. So I was like, okay, I've done this once before, so I do have driving experience. And it was fun. It was not quite the same as driving outdoors in terms of lighting. So it was like indoor, so artificial lighting versus outdoors natural lighting, and it was bright sunlight outdoors, and indoors it was like, even with the lighting, it's still dark. Yeah, but I remember getting really excited about the helmet and stuff like that. And I think I came in like second to last or something. So it wasn't quite as yeah, as bad. And so what does my Lewis want to say? My Lewis Hamilton it says, when we move in together, we will be living in a dust bowl because of how much money we spend and how much money he has. He sits in the living room driving a go-kart without the body. Our river otter daughter, Pistachio, watched from off on his left side. I hard-boil eggs in the kitchenette in the living room. I set up an acoustic system that pairs with the pedals to mimic the car I am building for him. He becomes the nightly entertainment for Pistachio and I, as well as during the day background acoustics. Yes, it's a throwback to my driving origins. Wasn't actually with like a road-ready car, rather with go-kart racing. So it's my experience go-karting in Montana versus Seattle, pre-driver's license age, pre-2008.